I'm called Dr. Doreen Ingabire. I work in RAB, in Girinka program specifically, as Girinka Selection Officer in Northern Province. The activities I do in Girinka program are all the Girinka activities, and such as like when we are to give cows to the poor families, we have to visit those new beneficiaries, train them on cattle management, and then we go to select those cows that are to be given to those new beneficiaries, and you have to make sure that at least those cows, they qualify the criteria of the heifers that are supposed to be given to them. They are supposed to be cross Frisian or cross Jersey 50%, and the body weight should be between 250 and 300 kilograms body weight. The heifer also should be healthy. So we have to make sure at least those cows are fulfilling the criteria. Also, those heifers, they have to be at least 2 years old so that they are ready to give birth. So after giving those cows, have to follow up again for breeding, so that at least after 1 year they have to give calf, so that the Girinka program can continue by passing over to new beneficiaries again. We do like cattle management trainings generally, like on nutrition, health, like reproductive management, so that the farmer can be able to know if the cow is on heat and then call the vet sector to come and breed, so that they don't miss the other cow, to be giving at least one calf every after a year, and also to know that the cow has been fed the real nutrition, to get the real food, if it's napier or if it's other additives or concentrates. So that even the farmers, they get to know how to feed their cows so that they look healthy. If the cow is sick, they get to know that my cow is not healthy, and he calls the vet sector to come and treat the animal before it gets worse or before it dies. So because these farmers, some of them, they have no idea on the cows. That's why you have to train them before we give them the cows. First of all, at the district, they have to look to tender the market, so that the supplier comes in, the ones who gets the tender. Then, if the supplier is ready and he signs the contract with the district, that's where the lab comes in to work with the supplier. And then the supplier can tell us where he have got those cows. But the supplier in the contract, he's being given the criteria of the cows that we want. And those criteria is a heifer. It has to be a heifer, a cow that have not yet calved down. So it has to be a heifer of at least 2 years old. It has to be having like between 250 to 300 kilograms of body weight. It has to be a 50% cross Frisian or Jersey, and it has to be healthy. Then when we go for selection, we look for those if the supplier have followed the criteria. Because you may find he has gathered like 50 cows, and you have to choose like 20, and you find that maybe none of them qualifies. So you have to leave them. But if you happen to find like maybe 5 of them, they qualify, the body weight, the breed, even the cow is healthy, the age is okay, then the next step is sampling, taking blood sample for the laboratory testing. We test for brucellosis and see if it doesn't have brucellosis. And if the cow tests negative, then we can go ahead and bring the cow. The next step is bringing the cow. We gather the new beneficiaries who are supposed to be given those cows, and then we read them the rules, because we tell them what they're supposed to do. We remind them what they have been trained and how they are going to look after these cows. So we give them the cows, they take them home. So the follow-up we do is to follow up and see if those farmers are implementing what we told them, to see if they're managing the cow, to see if the cow is not sick, because there are some drugs we have to give the farmer to go with, like a caricide, so that he keeps on spraying to control tick-borne diseases. Other, like injections, those are done by the vet sector. We don't advise the farmers to treat for themselves. Yeah, so we keep on following them and see how they're doing the cattle management activities like we trained, if they're implementing, and also updating them how to do it. Yeah. The district vet, he coordinates the sector vets, all the activities that a sector vet does. So the sector vet, he works with the farmers within his sector and deals with their cows, both Girinka beneficiaries and other farmers. The way it works, it starts at the district where there is a Girinka committee that is supposed to implement the decentralization, and it involves lab staff. So they have to sit and revise the budget that is at the district and the number of cows that will be bought from that budget. Then select the new beneficiaries, but selection of the new beneficiaries is done at the village, so-called mudugudu. So they come up with the number of the new beneficiaries. Yeah. So the committee is combined with the lab staff, the vet sector, the security people, and the army, and also the vice mayor of social affairs, also the veterinary district officer, also the executive secretary of the district. So they have to sit and revise the budget, see the number of cows that are to be bought, and then revise how the tender is going to go out, and put a timeline, and keeps on following the activity until the Girinka decentralization is finished to be implemented. The farmers at the Mudugudu or village level, they are selected by the farmers themselves, because they are the ones who knows their neighbors. They know who is the poor and who is not. So they are the ones to decide that we know the farmer X, he's so poor than the other, so he should be given the opportunity first. So they are the ones who decides who, and then from the Mudugudu, because we have the leader to the Mudugudu, he brings the list of those that have been chosen from themselves, and then it goes to the cell, from the cell to the sector, from the sector to the district. You know, the part I enjoy most when I'm doing this activity of Girinka, as a veterinary doctor, I enjoy most of the time dealing with cows. When it comes to training them, teaching them how to love their cows like their own, don't treat them like other animals, wild animals or something. That's the most part I do enjoy.